Wait a minute. It's in the Bible, though. If it's your will, Lord, let this not pass my cup. Or if it's your will, Lord. But what happened is tradition teaches us how to say things out of context. Mm-hmm. Because if I truly hear and listen to God, mm-hmm. then whatever I ask for and I believe, it shall come to pass if it lines up with his word. That's what Jesus said. Mm-hmm. Right? Right. Jesus didn't say that if it's God's will, it might happen for you. No, he said, if you ask anything in my name, mm-hmm. believe that you what? Receive. Mm-hmm. So if that's the case, why am I constantly saying, well, if it's God's will, or this happens to me, and, well, I guess it was God's will? No. How is it God's will when I get a negative report from the doctor, when I can go to God and begin to say, okay, God, I need you to change my vocabulary, my conversation, so that I can be able to speak in my prayer life so that I can get what you have for me for my health. Right? Wow. Now let's look at this. Because earlier, some part of last year, we began to realize that prayer, P-R-A-Y-E-R, had nothing to do with, Lord, thank you for this, and thank you for that, and thank mm-hmm. you for this. But we were taught that that's what it was. Mm-hmm. Prayer was a petition. It was something that we go before the judge, and the lawyer places before the judge. It's a paperwork that goes before the judge that gives place our case before God. So then the lawyer begins to be the medium person, the person in the middle, which is Jesus, our advocate. Now we understand that certain things we have to put before the judge. So if certain things have to be put before the judge, then there are certain conversations, vocabulary that we have to know how to speak to the judge. How many of you ever prayed and got confused? Mm-hmm. You know, you pray and all of a sudden, or you fall asleep, you're praying, you're like, I bind, and then all of a sudden the devil says, what do bind mean? You're like, and the more you start praying, the frustrated you get, you're like, because we weren't taught vocabulary. Mm-hmm. We were taught it in school, but we weren't taught it in the Bible. So we read scriptures and read scriptures and read scriptures, and we never understand what is being said because we don't understand the vocabulary, what God is saying. Because if I can't understand as I begin to read the scriptures, and I read it out loud or read it in my mind, I have to begin to listen and hear what is being said. Because what's being said, I can be able to see what's not being said. Have you ever heard that saying? Mm-hmm. I'll give you a good example. We all are at the age of the ability, with the exception of those three back there, right? Uh-huh. The baby and baby and Jacob and Shakur would probably know this. How many of you ever been with somebody, a friend or whatever, uh-huh. and you're having this conversation and they say, you say, what do you want? And they say, I don't care, whatever you say, whatever. Or you say, they expect for you to read their mind. Mm-hmm. Or they hold a conversation, get frustrated with you, and it's like, what's happening? You don't understand. What do you mean I don't understand? You just said this. But you don't understand. What happened is, I wasn't present in the moment to actually really hear what they were saying. Although I'm sitting here, I wasn't paying attention to what they were saying. I was just and maybe repeat a couple of words to say that I was listening. But I wasn't present in the moment or listening to them. So I couldn't realize that in reality, although you're yelling at me about not cleaning the house, it had a lot to do with me not paying attention and spending time with you. Oh. Most arguments, not all, are it's like a camouflage. It's not exactly what you're arguing about. It's about something else. If you really think about it. You could be driving in a car and the person says, why are you not saying anything? I'm like, oh, because you're not saying anything. So you're driving. Next you know, you're arguing about something that doesn't exist. Right? Mm-hmm. Reality is that the person started the argument is crying out for something that they don't know how to put in words, or they know how to put in words, but they want you to be able to be the mind reader. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So every spouse has been through that moment. There's been through a moment where you go, what are you thinking? And you're like, you want to know what I'm thinking, My thoughts are my thoughts. Keep it going. Then you turn up the radio or you do something to block them out because you got some things going on. So all of a sudden they do a thing where it's called step on your toe. And step on your toe means that although you're going through some situations, going through meaning that there's a front door and a back door. There's always a way out, but we never know what the way out because we never were taught how to combat against all the works of the enemy. Mm-hmm. That means that if I really sit down and really hear and listen to you, I can honestly say, okay, it's not about this. What is it really about? It is about this. Okay. Then if it is about this, explain to me where I'm missing it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because it's always in the area of us never really paying attention or listening to what they're saying. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's do a switch. Let's go over to Romans 12:2.